and Stahl says STOked Update.
Let's move on to some specific content questions because that's a hot button topic, as you know.
Sure.
But I think we'll kind of focus on looking forward.
Okay.
One of the things that I was wondering if we could get some clarification from you is in a previous statement you'd said that the Enterprise F, the Odyssey class, would be earned by players through, I think you called it a series of fleet actions. I was wondering if you could either clarify that statement or tell us.
And I thought I'd also read that it might be part of the new featured episode.
Yeah. So is there anything more you could tell us about that?
Sure. Obviously we haven't decided exactly how it's going to be, but the current thinking is that it was going to be tied to an unlockable reward for completing a future STF. Now that could be into the Hive, it could be the existing remastered STFs, but we're talking about ways that you will be able to complete that content and unlock that ship, but we want it to be part of the story. And so we're going to introduce sort of the idea behind the ship, at least some components of it in the next featured episode series, but the ability to unlock it and earn it as a playable ship is going to be tied to some sort of story mission content in the game. And right now that's either an STF or it's going to be a new fleet action that we're talking about.
And not in the C-Store?
Not in the C-Store.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's going to be an unlockable.
You mean I got to work for it? All right, I'm ready. I'll do it.
It's really because it's a big new fancy ship. It's part of the
I'm actually just surprised because it seems like an easy money grab.
It is.
So it seems like it'd be low hanging fruit to throw in the C-Store for $25 and have a bunch of people buy it.
No, I'd rather people just earn this ship in game because it's
That's
really
awesome.
a community ship.
I salute you
right?
for that, sir.
Like you guys everyone sort of it was part of the contest, and it just makes more sense to. This is something that players sort of added to the game, so everyone should have a chance to get
that's an awesome piece of additional game content for people to go after in the future.
Sure.
So
and I'm sure the Klingon,
and
the Klingons are saying, but I can't fly it. But it's one of those things where we specifically had a contest for the Enterprise.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to find a way to get that in the game. And if there's any chance that we can do some sort of Klingon flagship, we'll consider that. But for right now, this is really focused on how do we introduce this new Odyssey class ship and allow everyone to fly it.
I wonder, on the subject of the Enterprise F, are we going to be introduced to any of the crew members in this next series, since you've mentioned that there's going to be some groundwork laid?
That is part of the groundwork, is introducing, I think there's a chance you could meet the new captain. Obviously, we're still waiting on final approvals on that because it requires a little bit more touchy-feely with CBS. But it is one of the things that we want to do is introduce some of our crew so that you can see, who this new crew is. And really we're trying to introduce characters that we can use as recurring characters in our timeline to sort of represent our...
I really like that.
I really like that. I am so on board with that.
Yeah, me too. I think that'd be really good, and I think it's exactly... I was just thinking recently about how I'm really anxious for something to progress in the story, and I'd love to have new elements to sort of sink my teeth into, and something
to give STO its own sense of canon, and to wrap it around a new Enterprise.
Yeah.
This just seems like a...
Because I feel like more and more the existing canon is being really well explored. Now I'm ready to set a new stuff. Actually, speaking of new stuff, should we maybe chat a little bit about DS9?
Yeah, we started just now, but I was wondering if there's anything that you can tell us, details about the upcoming Deep Space Nine.
So we know it's going to be a Deep Space Nine. It sounds like we've even gotten some rumors of some wormhole tech improvements for it.
And a new interior for the Defiant will be coming at some point.
So those are all things we kind of have heard, but is there anything else you can tell us about?
Well, we're going to... So we, there's a couple things that we had been trying to accomplish with this series, and one of them is to create, we have Drazana Station as this sort of cross-faction bar, but we really wanted to make a fun new zone that Klingons and Feds could both hang out on and run missions from, similar to what we did with Devera, but just on a grander scale. And so we were trying to figure out if that's Deep Space Nine or if it's something related to Deep Space Nine. So that is one of the questions that we're going to answer. We're going to introduce a new zone that has mission givers that both Klingons and Feds are going to be able to take missions
it's probably
from.
Deep Space 11. That makes sense.
Yeah, sure. No, it's Empok Nor, the one that's always tilted on its side. Yeah. So, and anything involving the Cardassians with this new...
We've seen some hints of new character art.
Yeah, like new...
complete power overvamp, too.
Very, very, a little bit of Cardassians, but not much. It's really mostly about the Dominion and specifically the Jem'Hadar. And on top of that, I think you're also going to see a little bit more of Bajor in this, just in terms of their influence.
I'm out. It's an old joke. I can't help it, Dan. I can't help it.
But yeah, you're going to see a little bit more Bajor. And we're trying to, obviously featured episodes are a lot of fun for us. So we're trying to always introduce new tech and new things. This has sort of been one of the things we've always tried to do is whenever we're adding new tech to the game, try and add that to the featured episode. So you're going to see us use duty officer assignments for the first time in an episode where you're going to be on the station or as part of the mission, and there's going to be limited time duty officer assignments that you can take part in as sort of sub-objectives on the mission that will allow you to say, think of it sort of as, a poor man's mini game. For example, you go up to something and it's like, hey, this thing's in need of repair or you need to fix this. Do you have anyone on your crew who can do this? And, that's
and
kind of
you beam down Ensign Ricky from engineering.
There you go.
To take care
Ensign
of it.
Rookie. Ensign Red Rookie.
Like that. And we're also, some of the other things that we're, I've mentioned EVA suits and...
that's right, yeah.
And so we're really... Gosh, we've really wanted to get EVA suits in the game for a really long time.
Yeah, I've been hearing about them for some time now.
Yeah, and it's sort of the holy grail for Matt and the character art team to be able to put a helmet on your character and make you in space, other than the bugs that we've seen.
So there's